Power versus skill. What's most important to us riders? Is full power the absolute answer? Or is a rider with enough skill capable with a bike with just the right amount of power? Right, folks, this is the perfect opportunity to find out because I'm here at Hookwood Trials Centre near Guildford in the UK with none other than Chris Akrigg. Chris Akrigg, 6 times British bike trial champion, and when it comes to his abilities and skills across different disciplines, he's something of a chameleon. He can apply those skills to all sorts of bikes. So he's perfect for this test today. So this is an interesting opportunity because Chris has been riding the E160 White for a full season. Full power bike's got the Bosch CX motor in it, 85 Newton meters of torque, 600 watt max power, fantastic bike, tons of oomph in it, and it means Chris can get up impossible climbs. We've all got used to seeing him do that. But today we've got the white e-lyte 150. Chris hasn't ridden this bike hardly at all. This has got the Bosch SX motor in it, 55 Newton meters of torque, and same 600 watts max power, but a very light bike compared to this one. And what we're going to find out today, and could be really interesting, is if we take away some of that power, but trade it off with a much lighter weight, how will he get on with less power but more Chris? And the first way we're going to test that out is really get into what difference the weight makes. So let's find out how high Chris can bunny hop the full power bike compared to the e-lyte. And I'm going to do that with something I call the Coke can test. Right, Chris.
Hello.
Let's get into it. Okay, the Coke can test. I basically want to see how much harder you've got to work on the full power than the mid-assist e-lyte. So let's start with this little bunny hop. You think you can do that? That's already quite hard on this bike, isn't it? Because the weight's significant.
Yeah. As I was saying before, I know this, but so this bike's set up really soft anyway. Yeah. So this is going to be an I-know, because what you said earlier on, I've not ridden that bike that much, but I know this inside out. Let's have a go. Let's have a go. Let's see how hard that is on the full power. Give it a run. That's interesting, isn't it? Because he's already using the power. He's pedaling into that bunny hop. Chris, we've got to go a bit higher, I think. Was that technically a bunny hop? It counts for now. We don't have to be too strict on this. Let's just add a couple of cans. Perfect. That was perfect. Oh, that's a shame. I've got to go higher. I reckon that's about comfortable height on that bike. Yeah, that surprised me actually, to be honest. So what I've been doing, Mart, don't think it's technically a bunny hop, because a bunny hop's normally rolling. Yeah. Bunny hop. This one has been doing a power assisted bunny hop. Yeah. Let's try a proper bunny hop. Proper bunny hop. This is going to be close. Oh well, maybe it works. Flew over it. Okay, same height, but now we're moving over onto the mid-assist e-lyte to see how much easier it is on a slightly lighter bike. Wow. All this is doing is just really make me want to have a can of Coke. It's quite difficult jumping from one bike to the other back to back. Yeah. Because your brain's saying what weight you're doing, so you're having to preempt the weight difference. Cry me a river, dude. Do you know what I mean? Should we go up one? Let's go higher. Quick. That'll do. That's about the limit. So we're at max height on the e-lyte 150. So just to confirm, let's send the E160 full power over that and see if he can do it.
Well, there you have it. The results are clear. The mid-assist e-lyte 150 is flying over the Coke cans, and you can see that the weight is making a significant difference. But let's take all that now to a Powerstage and compare the bikes in their natural environment, climbing stuff that we just cannot believe, with one of the best climbers in the world. Right, we're into the absolute action spot of Hookwood Trials Centre, and Chris is making a Powerstage. It's actually very technical what he's building, so it's going to be a real test for the agility of the bikes. That'll be interesting to see how well the e-lyte moves compared to the E160, but there is some serious climbs on a very sandy and slippy surface. So maybe the power of the E160 will win through there. Let's compare them on time, and let's look closely to how well the bikes manoeuvre while he's riding. Okay, E160 first. 3, 2, 1, go!
That's slippy.
Go on, that's a hell of a climb. It's fast, that's for sure. Right, he's gonna have to get his wits about him here because this is a really tough climb. Using the power, manoeuvring the bike.
Agility needs.
Stop. Right, 34 seconds. He was flying. He was flying.
That's really slippery in there.
That's hard, that bit, eh? That's real hard. Okay, it's time for the e-lyte 150. I'm quite excited because I think my money's on this for the fastest time, but I could be wrong. Ready, Christopher?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go! Ooh, new line. He's definitely got enough power to get up there. I think this is quicker, and it's definitely more nimble. This is interesting. Has it got enough power? Oh, it's throwing it around in a... Whoa! My God, he kept that moving. Oh my God. It's not even close.
Night and day.
That was madness. Wow. You were throwing
surprising.
it around. I'm actually kind of stunned. That was really different. Like, you looked completely different as you were manoeuvring the bike.
It's crazy, but it actually... I'd have put money on that gripping better.
Yeah.
We talked about it at the start.
On a 30-second-ish course, you were 5 seconds quicker. Wow.
A little bit more out of breath there.
Yeah. Now that is so interesting as a simple test, because remember, this is power versus skill. And I really feel like the mid-assist e-lyte unlocked more of Chris's skill there, and he was able to take a couple of lines and hit the sort of momentum in parts of that section that he wasn't able to do on the full power bike. So are we seeing that that mid-assist bike is unlocking some skill, even though it hasn't got full power? Well, that was quite remarkable, actually. The e-lyte performed pretty well in that scenario.
Yeah, that's like, it's news to me because, as I said, like, I've not ridden this that much, but straight away you're seeing like the pros and cons, if you want to call it that. They're different. That's how I say it. They're different things. What you can't feel and what the viewers can't feel is what's going on in my body while I'm riding the different bikes. And like on the climb, for instance, the first bit on this is like you're up there fast.
Yeah.
Because you have to ride this on the cadence more to get the power.
Okay, yeah.
And so you sort of relying more on your legs when it gets like techie, so you're having to really try.
Yeah.
Not really try, but you know, there's not as much power.
Yeah.
Whereas on the full fat, you're relying more on the power and the torque, not your legs.
Yeah, and you're definitely feeling that on that climb. It was really interesting. Is there any other bits? I guess that last part of the Powerstage, the manoeuvrability of the e-lyte was pretty evident because you had to really line up in a slightly slower but more prepared situation with the full fat, whereas this, you just threw it into the corner and went.
Yeah, I think it's just like this has just got that much more agility. That is just weight.
Yeah.
That's all that is, you know, like obviously if I took my time a little bit, if it wasn't under the clock and it wasn't under the pressure that you put me under in that situation, you know, I could make that look really nice on this bike and do it equally, you know, but on this, it's just like speed, first take, yeah, no problem at all.
Nice. Right, okay, so that's agility proven. Let's see if we can really see the difference when it comes down to using the power. So, I think we've really proved the point that the e-lyte could unlock some skill power for Chris, but I really want to get back to how we'd all be using these bikes. So let's get Chris in a bit more of a traditional mountain bike turn then climb situation and see if we can see where the e-lyte might struggle against the full power Bosch CX motor. So you're out on your trail, you come into a tight switchback and then climb. Look at that. Just keeping the pedals going. Right, time for the e-lyte to take on the switchback turn and climb, but I think in what is very difficult conditions, incredibly slippery, I think it's going to struggle and it's going to be very evident where the power was making a big difference on the E160. Tight turn, put down what power there is. Already you're seeing it struggling.
No way.
That was an amazing turn. Okay, I'll show Chris Akrigg how to do this. I'm on a full power. I've got it. And if I get up this climb, a little bit of rollback from Martyn, then you've got to like and subscribe. Here I go. Oh. Okay, folks, we're seeing the difference now. Chris is coming in on this switchback turn, and it really is a super test up that climb. Chris, talk us through it bike by bike.
So this is more of, like you say, a traditional style test. You probably find this at most trail centres where these bikes are, going to be used. So basically what we're doing, we're essentially at a standing still point when you get to the apex of the corner, and then we're aiming to get up regardless of what goes on, because this is a crazy climb and conditions today
tough, yeah,
are pretty miserable, let's say, Mark. But to even get 5 meters up this climb from essentially a standing start, the difference is night and day. Straight away on the full fat, you're up to power,
yeah,
and then ready to tackle potentially what's coming ahead. Whereas the lightweight with the less power, and obviously we're rounding this, you've got to ride this on the cadence. Trying to get to that cadence with a short run up, steep incline,
yeah,
it's pretty tricky.
It's really tough. Okay, my personal conclusion. I feel like at the end there, we really saw the e-lyte struggle against that power of the E160. The Bosch CX motor was just dragging Chris up this climb, and then when he went down to the SX on the mid-assist bike, he just didn't really have a chance at going for it in these very difficult conditions. I guess I can only judge it personally, and for me, I think I'm more excited about what we're going to get to see Chris do on the mid-assist bike, the e-lyte, because obviously he's got a massive amount of skill, and that bike does allow him to have a bit of both. Whether that's right for most of us, I'm not sure. We all tend to be out on the trails doing tight turns and up climbs where we're sat down, and the full power bike really did come into its own at that point. And it's going to do that all day long. So maybe if you're a general trail rider, that is really where you're going to have the fun and enjoyment on those climbs. But it's a guaranteed prediction of the future that these mid-assist bikes and lighter weight e-bikes are really going to transform what all mountain bikers can do out on the trails. But I don't think we're ever going to get quite as good as Chris Akrigg.